Welcome to my December 2020 horoscope series. This month is going to be absolutely historical in nature. We are experiencing an astrological event which only occurs every 20 years, and that is the great conjunction between Jupiter and Saturn. Now, what's special about this particular great conjunction is that we haven't had one in the sign of Aquarius in over 600 years. Guys, please watch my horoscope videos for your ascendant, sun, and moon sign, because this is really going to set the tone for the next 2 decades. Everyone will be affected, but the signs who will see the most monumental and cataclysmic changes are Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio. Without further ado, let's dive straight in. Hi Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Risings. Welcome to your December 2020 horoscope. The month kicks off with Mercury entering the sign of Sagittarius on the 1st of December. So this will be in your 6th house, which means that for 3 weeks from the beginning of the month, you will be intensely focused on the daily tasks that you have to perform at work, your health, your exercise regime, and you can also find yourself having a lot of communication with employees if you have them. On another level, if you have hired people to help, as in tradespeople, nannies, any handiwork around the house, anyone that you employ in any capacity, you can have a lot of intense communication with them, or there can just be a lot of phone calls, texts, and emails going back and forth. Now, on the 14th or the 15th of December, depending where you live in the world, there will be a new moon total solar eclipse in Sagittarius, and it'll be conjunct Mercury and squaring Neptune in the 9th house. So new beginnings always bring about new moons always bring about new beginnings, and new moon eclipses bring about beginnings which are fated in nature. So how this can play out for you Cancers, it could be that you have a change in work employment. It could be that you take on a new job, but it's in the same industry. You could actually be employing new people to come and work for you. And for others of you, you can have a totally revised attitude towards your health, your exercise regime, and your general well-being. For some of you, if you've been experiencing chronic health issues, any kind of chronic health condition, or even if you have been battling an addiction of some nature, you can actually find that you are relieved of this health condition, or you could finally be able to break the pattern and the cycle of addiction that you've been going through for however long. And the reason for that is that Mercury is conjunct the South Node, and the South Node is about detaching, and it also represents karma in a sense. And Mercury is our conscious awareness and understanding. So the fact that it's squaring Neptune, which can represent loss, and Neptune is a planet which represents addiction, we see essentially perfect conditions for you to finally end your drug addiction, alcohol addiction, porn addiction, sex addiction. It can even be social media addiction. It doesn't have to be anything that's conventional in nature. But if it's something that you've been struggling with, by the middle of next year, by the middle of 2021, you can finally be free of this and have a new lease on life and take back control with regard to your health and well-being. Now, on the 17th of December, Saturn will enter the sign of Aquarius, and we haven't seen Saturn in Aquarius for about 19 years. 2 days later, Jupiter will enter Aquarius, which it hasn't done for the last, sorry, did I say 19 years? I meant 28 years. For Jupiter entering Aquarius, this hasn't occurred for 12 years, and the two of these planets conjunct together hasn't been seen since the year 1405 in Aquarius. So this great conjunction, as we astrologers call it, will see the beginning of a new 2-decade period for you, Cancer. 20 years of a new cycle is occurring from the middle of this month, and it's occurring in your 8th house. Now, the 8th house rules a lot of different things. So Cancer, I'm going to give you a 2-tier description of how this could impact you, because there is a material manifestation of the 8th house, which is very much concerned with resources, finances, assets, investments, inheritances, and also you know, your physical intimate relationship with your partner. But then on the emotional and spiritual level, the 8th house is concerned with your emotional security, your intimacy, your psychological fears, blockages, any kind of subconscious issue which has been repressed and buried beneath the surface can be worked on over the course of the next 20 years. Now, if you work in the following fields: psychology, the occult, spirituality, healing of any kind, tantra, alternative healing, or even astrology, you could be developing your career over the next 20 years in this field. Now, for others of you, if you work in tax industry, stock market, other people's investments, or you're an investor yourself, you work with other people's monies and finances. If you work in emergency services, in first response services, you're a firefighter, or if you're even a surgeon, the next 20 years will be about you developing your career. Saturn, in addition to the Sun, is a planet that relates to our career, and it also represents hard work, long-term dedication, discipline, and it can also represent deep research. Now, the 8th house is one of the houses in the 12 astrological houses which represent deep research. So some of you could be doing very deep, laborious investigations into any of those aforementioned areas, or you could even be a journalist or writer who starts the creative and investigative work of your entire life and career. It could be relating to conspiracy theories, it could be a documentary, a book, novel. It could even be that some of you Cancers are working on inventing or developing something which has the ability to heal others, which is very progressive in nature. It doesn't have to be alternative healing. You don't have to be in the spiritual industry or the occult industry or community. You could be working in a hospital, or you could be a scientist who has some kind of groundbreaking discovery, or you invent something which changes the course of humanity, you know, for the better. Now, it's not going to be something that is easy. Whatever this great conjunction is bringing into your life, you will be working at it doggedly for, well, the next 2 decades, but especially over the next 2.5 years, because Saturn as a planet will demand long, intense hours of your time, your effort, and your blood, sweat, and tears. But Cancer, this isn't going to be something that you that you resent or that you wish that you could change. As much as this is karmic in nature, because Saturn is a planet that represents karma, and the 8th house is an extremely karmic house in the astrological birth chart system, this is still going to be something that is essentially your choice. This is your life purpose. This is your soul's calling. Whatever you work on over the next 20 years will fill you up emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, and this is a position for dedicating your life to others. Any Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising who this is pertaining to your career, this will be for the betterment of humanity and society as a whole. Now, for those of you who, this isn't necessarily about your career, this is about working on your psychological issues, traumas, and fears. And, whatever you've been through, Cancer, obviously it's something that has brought you to this point where you are doing deep psychological research and, a lot of introspective work into yourself to heal yourself. And a lot of you have been struggling with deep depression, melancholy, psychological issues, buried, repressed issues. And I'm here to tell you that you can get through it and you will work on it. Saturn and Jupiter are coming together to help you turn your life around. The 8th house is the house that represents sudden reversals and unexpected change. This conjunction is going to bestow you with a blessing because Jupiter is a planet which represents healing and blessing, and it is the greater benefic. This planetary conjunction will change your life like irreversibly, and the hard work starts now, and after early 2023, that is when you will start seeing progress in all of the areas that I've just mentioned. No matter how it relates to you, the progress will be visible and tangible from at least March 2023. Now, on the 20th of December, Mercury will enter the sign of Capricorn, and on the 21st of December, the Sun will enter Capricorn, which essentially sees the beginning of Capricorn season kick off. So you will be thinking a lot about your marriage, your life partner, your business partner, because the 7th house rules partnerships and relationships. There can be lots of communication with your life partner, your spouse, or your business partner. And, for those of you who are not in a relationship, this will be a period of time, a 4-week period of time, where you will focus on your one-on-one relationships with clients, your close one-on-one friendships. And if you own your own business, or if you work in sales or consulting, or you're a psychologist or counselor, any career position where you work one-to-one, you will be thinking about how you can improve and develop your one-on-one services that you offer, or your consultations that you offer. Now, some of you may actually be entering a new contract or agreement with a business partner, a client, or you and your life partner could be signing contracts together for a new purchase, okay, or taking out a new loan together. It could be for property or a vehicle, whatever it is. It will involve you and your partner signing contracts together, or if you're single, you signing contracts with someone else. Now, on the 29th or the 30th of December, depending where you live in the world, we will see a full moon in Cancer at 8 degrees. So this is occurring in your 1st house, and it is opposite Mercury in Capricorn in your 7th house. And both these planets are squaring Uranus in Taurus in your 11th house. So full moons are all about things coming full circle, completion, seeing things draw to a close, or the ending of a chapter. Now, the fact that it's in your 1st house this means that, you know, you could actually be seeing the end of a chapter to how you feel about yourself, how you think about yourself. You know, if you've previously struggled with low self-confidence or low self-esteem, you could suddenly see yourself in a totally different light. And, you know, the physical manifestation of that is that you could have a sudden dramatic change in your overall appearance, whether that's gaining weight, losing weight, changing your hairstyle, doing a total wardrobe, revamping of your wardrobe. In any case, Cancer, how you simply carry yourself will change, and people will notice it, and people will actually be commenting on it to you and saying, wow, there's something different about you. You seem more confident, or you look different, or you have a sparkle in your eye, or like a pep in your step. There will be some perceptible change to how you carry yourself and how you present yourself. Even if you do not see it in yourself, it will be there, it will be present. Now, on another level, some of you may say goodbye to a close one-on-one friend, and I mean figuratively. You know, if you've been in friendship for a long time, or it could even be a short time, but if this person's really close with you, you know, something unexpected could happen where you close the book, or you close that chapter on that friendship. Now, if it's not a close one-on-one friend, it could actually be saying goodbye to a friendship circle, or a group or a community or a club that you're a part of, which no longer suits your needs, or which is no longer in alignment with who you are now. And this will coincide with this somewhat abrupt realization that no, I'm not like that anymore. Those aren't my values anymore. These aren't the people that I want to be associated with in the long term. You know, it doesn't have to be for all of you Cancers. I'm not saying you're all going to end friendships or walk away from friendship circles, but certainly for a lot of you, this could very well be the case, especially for Cancer moons. Now, on a totally different level, you could achieve a long-held goal, dream, or ambition, which you've been working on, and you're finally seeing the fruits of your labor. And, you know, this will be involving the public in some way, shape, or form, because the 7th house rules the audience, it rules the other, you know, the other person, so to speak. It's the descendant house. And then the 11th house rules our long-term goals and ambitions. So, you know, props to you guys if that is what's occurring, if you're achieving this long-term goal that you've been working towards. And lastly, on a different level, if you have a business partner, or even you and your spouse, or you and your life partner could together achieve a long-term goal or aspiration that you've both held and both been working on. So Cancer, that's all I have for you for this month and for this year. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more content from me, please subscribe to Castrology. Enjoy the rest of the year, and I'll see you in 2021.